Hi, it's Anne here, and this is my weekly Shop My Stash for 2023. So what I'm going to do first is just quickly recap what I picked last week, and then we'll get into this week's picks. So this is everything that I used last week. I feel like looking at this was a good week. Like there was lots of good. I felt pretty happy. Like when I think about my three face products, like blush, bronzer, highlighter, really enjoyed those. I really enjoy the Merit mascara. I feel like, and I said this in my last video, that it was more of a natural looking mascara, but I feel like because it's getting a bit older and it's drying out, that I can actually build it up a bit more. I'm not 100% sure how tubing it is. It's definitely a tubing type mascara, but I definitely could get some more build up out of it than I expected, so I really enjoy that. Really enjoy the Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. So sad that this is gone because it is such a nice powder. It's such a nice powder. So much so that when I powdered my face after I did my foundation, I was like, oh, my face looked blurred and it just looked soft and blurred. And I was like, I use different powders every week, plus my Project Pan powder, and I never really felt that way till I use this, having that kind of a reaction. So it's such a nice powder. If I can find a dupe for this, I'd be happy. I think one of the things for me is this is a peachy powder and I have pink undertone, so I think the undertone of this works really nice for me. And I remember comparing this directly with the Hourglass one, and I feel like the Hourglass one was kind of yellowish, so I didn't like it on my skin as much. I would say this is one of my least favorite items. The product itself is okay. It's the Say highlighter. I just don't like the scent of it, so you can see I'm getting close to finishing this. So this is a product that this is going to come back in a Project Pan because I would like to finish it up. What else? This Inmo it's a liquid eyeshadow. It's fine. It's not offensive, so I'm going to keep it even though I decluttered the other one. I'm wearing it today with a darker shade from my Pan Matte palette, just sort of in the crease. It looks fine. Actually, I did sort of test this out on my hand, and I feel like I could maybe use it as a highlight as well. So potentially I might eventually put it in my highlights drawer, although I have way too many highlights. Though not very many liquid highlights, so it could work for that. Thanks to those who suggested getting a different shade of this. I definitely will consider getting the shade. I think it's number 21. I think it would work better for me. I've got a lot of product left on this one, so that won't be anytime soon. And then this, I was talking about trying to find out if things were waterproof. This is definitely, at least it's tear proof. I've been having a bit of a tough week. I don't want to get too much into it. I did post on Harley's Instagram, and I think I've mentioned this a few times. We're in new phases. Every few days with Harley, it's a new phase. And yeah, it's tough. But he's still going, so still a happy little chappy. So yeah, overall a really good week. So this was last week's picks. Now it's time to get into the new picks. Okay, on top of my set of drawers, I have this little acrylic storage thing, and this has all my single eyeshadows that are not in a magnetic palette. And I'm kind of going with what was in the top drawer, except for, yeah, you know what? Let's keep going up here. This is what's in the top drawer right now. I'm going to pull this guy because I pulled the other one the other week and I really enjoyed it. This one's different. So this is the Kaja Moon Crystal. If I can focus. I don't know why the camera doesn't like to focus when I'm trying to do this. Other people have this issue too. I don't know what we're doing wrong. What are we doing wrong? This one is a little different than the other one in Luminary. This one's more sheer and more of a topper, whereas Luminary is definitely more pigmented and an all-over lid shade. So this is one that I kind of prefer to use on top of other shadows to just give a different effect. So there it is right there. That's it, pretty thick. I wouldn't necessarily apply it quite that thick, but I think you can kind of see it's got a bit of translucentness to it. Yeah, I prefer to just sort of use it on top of other shadows. Okay, here we are in the top drawer of my makeup drawer thing. the camera is real close to the powders and foundations and concealers. We're close to this door because I don't want to pull my camera up any higher or it might tip over, which has happened in the past. So let's just not do that. We're just going to be up close and personal on this one. So I think I want to pull a foundation I have not used in quite some time. This one. It might be a little dark for me right now. It's the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation in the shade. I have no idea. I don't know what the shade is. I will put the shade on the screen down below because I don't know the shade offhand. Yeah, I haven't used this a whole lot since I bought it. I bought it like this time last year, I think, somewhere around. I bought it, I did sort of a panic Becca buy and bought like a bunch of Becca things when they announced that they were kind of going to business. Oh, the pump is like stuck. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna just open it up. Okay, there it is on my hand there. That's a pretty thick swatch. I mean, it's very, very high coverage. I think it's a little dark for me right now, so I might need to pull in my NYX color corrector, the white one, to help tone this down a little. Concealer. I guess I'm just gonna go with this because it's on top. No, that's not, because it's one that I need to finish it up because it's starting to separate. But I'm gonna go with this one because I think this one's pretty light. I'm trying to pick things that sort of go with my skin tone right now because I'm super pale. So it's the Wet n Wild Photofocus Concealer. And again, shade name, Fair Beige for this one. Whew, it's a lot lighter than the foundation. Might be too light for me. It's alright. We'll find a happy medium here. Oh, that definitely smells like paint. It's got the bad photofocus smell. I remember being so kind of ho-hum with that concealer, not really loving it, not really like disliking it, but again, it's something I haven't used in quite some time, so we'll pull that one. Don't have a lot of primers left. So this is going to be interesting because like the primer section will be empty and I'll still have like a fair number. Let's just pull this out now because I probably will need it. This is what I was talking about with my foundation mixer for the Becca foundation. It's just a white foundation mixer and I like it because it doesn't seem to really affect the foundation quality itself. Let's just, if we're going to go with Wet n Wild, let's go with Wet n Wild again. So this is the Wet n Wild Glass Correcting Primer. It's a nice primer, like it feels nice to use. I don't think it really does anything. I don't think the green is enough to really counteract the red in my skin. Although I've been pretty lucky this winter, although we had like minus a billion temperatures last week, it hasn't been super cold. And because I'm not going to the office every day, I feel like it's saving my skin a little because my skin is not getting like beaten by the elements as much. So it's not as red this winter as it has been and like irritated as it has been past winters. Yeah, like this is feels nice to put on, but I don't think it really does much of anything. Just again, kind of smooths the skin and makes it a good base for putting the foundation on. Powder. I haven't tried this powder. I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I have tried it. I can't remember now. Anyway, we're going to try it now this week. This is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Powder. Mine totally broke and I repressed it. There's a long story behind that. We won't get into it. So it looks like a hot mess. But hopefully, I feel like this is going to be more of a summer product for me. I feel like I don't really need something like this in the winter, but I'm going to just test it out to see what it's like. It would be nice to know if it's really drying or not. Like if I find it just really like makes my skin look dry, or if it actually does like good. For me, I like to use a powder to set my foundation. I don't like my foundation to feel sticky, even though I have sort of like normal leaning to dry skin this time of year. I don't like my foundation to feel sticky. I like to set my foundation with powder for that reason. Okay, let's move on to the next drawer. Okay, I just need to mention something about lashes for a minute because I had a casualty and I need to tell somebody. It's going to come up in my empties. I've been trying to play with lashes a little bit more, trying to figure out how lashes can work for me. I think one thing I've learned is I really need to cut them down a lot smaller than I thought. And the style, like I really liked this 110 style. The 120 style is like the WSBs. 110 is definitely like a very fine kind of style. I wore them once and I lost one of them. For each of these, I had tried both of these the other week, and so I had them both beside the sink to clean them. And I don't know exactly what I did, but I lost one half for both sets. And I'm so sad because I barely wore them. And it just feels like a waste to me. I want to buy more lashes because I want to keep playing with lashes, especially ones that I know I like. But I'm going to kind of keep going through the ones that I have. I'm definitely not going to be wearing these ones, but I want to try these ones. These ones like go over my eyebrows. I know they won't work for me. But yeah, I'm super sad about that, and I don't really want to buy more because I'm on the no buy. Anyway, let's get into some better stuff here. Let's go with mascara. I think I'm going to go with this guy. This one might be a declutter. I've tried it on and off for quite a bit last year. This is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud, and I didn't really like it. I don't like the brush on it. It's a plastic brush, and it's kind of big. And it's very pokey, and I feel like I've used it enough. Like, you never really finish a mascara, and I feel like I've used it enough that I'd be comfortable letting this one go. Brow product, I think I'm gonna pull, what do I want to pull? What else do we have here? Maybe in the spirit of decluttering things, or chopping block things. I think this is a chopping block thing, and let's just maybe get it over with. This is the Ardell. I can't even read it. It's reflecting. It's in the shade Taupe. I don't know what the name of this is. I'll put it on the screen, so I have no idea what the name of it is. It's got like a pointed, like a dual pointed tip. Hopefully you can see that. But if I recall correctly, this there's not a whole lot of liquid. Doesn't really work as a two-pointed, because you have to press and then you lose the effect of the 2 points, and then the color is really weird. It's almost green, like it's got a green tinge to it. I don't know. So that might be a chopping block item, but I want to give it one more shot this week and see how it goes. I barely use that, but obviously there's a reason why. It's just no good. Liners. Let's go with pencil ones this week. I'm going to pull this one as I think it's going to work well with the Natasha Denona palette that I'm using. So it's the Pixi pencil in the shade Very Berry. I used the pewter one the other week. It's kind of a weird shade for me for eyeliner. It's something that I think eventually I could see myself maybe putting it as a lip liner. That's it right there. Does not look great with that eyeshadow. We'll wear those on different days. Maybe one that will go with that eyeshadow. Let's try this. This one is from Beige, and it's in the shade Purple Stain. There it is right there. It's kind of metallic, and that'll go with that Kaja eye thing. So you can see the Kaja thing right there. So that's why I don't like wearing it on its own, because when it shifts, that undertone is kind of weird, and it can look kind of patchy. So it definitely needs to be put over another shadow, whereas the other one didn't need to do that. All right, that's drawer done. All right, and this is the last drawer of the day, and I'm thinking, I already kind of was thinking about this one. I think I want to play with this blush. Juicy Pang Blusher. I don't know the exact shade name. I'll put it on the screen. I think it's more of I think it's a number. I don't know if it has a name. But it's interesting packaging because it kind of looks like a nail polish. But it's a really pretty pink. It's a very pale kind of pink. It's very different than a lot of my other blushes. So that's what it looks like just there. If I blend it out a little. Just a really, really natural kind of blush. Oh, focus. Just a really natural kind of blush. So I think I'll like that. Bronzer. I think let's kind of stick with some cream stuff. I'm going to go with the NARS. This is the I don't know the official name of it, but it's the Laguna bronzer. And this is the Laguna bronzer. Sorry, my voice was just kind of, it's real cracking today. It's kind of dry. Just a little swatch of this guy. Ooh, that's really dark right now. And of course I've got a hair in it. Yeah, that's really dark. But I think I can blend it out. Should be okay. I should be able to blend it out to something reasonable. And highlighter. Let's just maybe go liquid all around. And I'll go with this guy. It's the Hollywood Flawless filter, I think in the shade 2. Yep, 2 Fair. It's something I actually prefer, not maybe like a cheek, just like a plain highlighter, but I do like to sort of use it as a foundation or mix it with my foundation. It'll be interesting to mix this with the Becca foundation, actually. I think I'll kind of like that, because the Becca foundation is pretty high coverage. This might help sort of like make it more medium coverage. I'm not a big high coverage fan, so we'll see how that plays with the Becca foundation. So there it is on my hand there, pretty solid, and then blend it out. I haven't tried the e.l.f. one yet. I'm on a no-buy right now, so that's one of the reasons why I haven't tried it. And it hasn't been in store here, at least as far as I know, but it might be now. So yeah, that's those guys. That bronzer, man. My hand just looks super dirty. And it's all over my mouse now. Whoops. Okay, so I will quickly sum up this week's picks, and that will be this week's Shop My Stash. Alright, here are the picks for this week, and just to recap, the palettes that I'm currently using are the Natasha Denona Retro palette. So that's what that guy looks like. I feel like I haven't used these a whole lot, or not enough to want to put them away yet, so I'm going to keep using this. I might end up using these palettes for the whole month, maybe even longer if I feel like it. And then the other one is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Bonbons palette. This one I definitely feel like I've used less. I feel like I've used the Natasha Denona one a little bit more and this one a little bit less, so I want to get more use out of this before I put it away. So yeah, that is my Shop My Stash for this week. If you like this video, feel free to put a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye!